I've written 20 pages on my history essay, and I still don't think I'm going to get an A. What am I going to do?
My name is Sarah Laskin, and today we will be covering how to write history outlines. Some of my friends are at school, for example, Nicole, are like, I have so much to do. I don't want to write an essay for the test. And I'm like, wait, we don't have to write a whole essay before the actual essay for the test. Yes, it's a strategy some people take, but with my effective strategy of outlining very well for the history essay, it's a piece of cake. Today, I will be sharing my secrets of history outlining with you. And know before you ask, you do not need any good writing skills. I myself do not have good writing skills. No, this only works well with history essays, not very well with English essays. Since in history class we're doing causes of the Revolutionary War, I'll be using this question as an example. And it's about what caused the Revolutionary War. So the examples I used are Boston Tea Party / Tea Act, Quartering Act, and taxation without representation. Now keep in mind that usually you're going to want to do your best example first, which in this case would be my third example. However, this is just the outline, so it's very flexible, which is another reason why I really like the outlines. You could get the transition sentences later. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to brainstorm what are some ideas. So you're just going to outline like you would in any normal notes. Since it's just for you, it doesn't have to be neat or have the traditional outlining. So for example, Boston Tea Party. What was that? It was when colonists dumped tea into the harbor. Sorry, my handwriting's a bit messy. Okay, so the second, just do lines. You don't even have to do letters. The second thing we're going to write is for Boston Tea Party the second thing we're going to do is the significance. So I'm going to write why it was important, which is because it showed the English people that they are overtaxing the colonists. That they're overtaxing the colonists, and then they blockaded the harbor, which angered them more, which was, in my opinion, not the right decision. And then they blocked. Okay, and also, what was I going to say? You could talk, by the way, because I'm going to do voiceovers. But like,
what do you want me to write?
Overtaxing the colonists. Oh, that's the wrong finger, but okay. Also, they blockaded the harbor. That's okay. I'll write now. Okay, so the second thing is the Quartering Act. Basically forced colonists to house the soldiers. And obviously, if somebody came into your house and demanded food and shelter, and it was the law to give them food and shelter, how would you respond? You obviously would not be happy. I mean, yes, they're soldiers fighting for, quote-unquote, your country, but still, you'd be very mad. So you could see how this angered the colonists, and this definitely was a reason why they wanted to rebel. Yeah, it's not our family and friends, so why should we let random strangers stay in our houses is probably what the colonists would say. In fact, some sources say that the soldiers were actually really mean to them, even beating the colonists at some points if they were upset or mad at the colonists, or if they thought the colonists were not supporting them in the ways that they should. Okay, the next point, in my opinion, is the most important point because it's what started the other 2 points in the first place. And this is taxation without representation. You see, the British people actually had this thing called the Parliament, which is basically like the Congress in the United States. And nobody from the colonies was elected to this Congress. So they were basically getting taxed, and they weren't allowed to make decisions on what was getting taxed and how much it was getting taxed.
If I were in that position, I would be pretty mad because let's say I was a seller of blankets. So the British people, they would just tax and tax and tax my blankets, but I couldn't even speak up and say that I didn't want my blankets to be taxed. But the British people still taxed them. You see, the British people would not give the colonists a proper say in their parliament. Another thing is, before, I forgot to mention, was the French and Indian War that happened a few years before all this started to happen. The French and Indian War was basically a war between the British and the French and basically all the other countries in fighting for land in the New World. However, wars, as you might know, cost a lot of money. So what better way to make money off by overtaxing the colonists already there? So now you have some points, and please take into note that usually it's not going to be this messy if you're turning your outline into a teacher, but this is just to put your notes on paper, or in this case whiteboard, and to show your thoughts, and then you could easily organize them into a nice well-developed paragraph. With this method, I've been using it for a long time, and I can say I'm very good at writing history essays, and this method works for most people. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up or subscribe if you liked it, and also give us a follow on Instagram at Advice by Sarah, or email us at advicebysarah@gmail.com if you would like any latest updates. Thank you, and peace out.